you lose it, you never win.
Oh, boy!
That stuff is.
Yeah! Showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling. Woo! It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP, from the 313, and by my side is my main man, my toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, brother.
Yes, and joining us below is my main man, Mr. Jarek from Jan Sports. Always good to have Jarek on with us. What's up, Jarek?
Nothing much, man. Like you guys were talking backstage about some boxing and some UFC, man. I went to Vegas. I went to the Sphere, man.
Did you go see it?
No way!
That's where we started with.
Sphere, yes,
Nice. How was the experience, man? Watching it live was unbelievable. So being there, how was it being there?
It was like being in a movie, man. The fights were fine. It was a good fight card, but man, it was like just being in a Senate, like it was like watching the Avatar. It was like being in the Avatar, like like it was just
so much money to make the production outrageous.
Hundreds, they had to spend tens of millions of dollars on that thing, man. I mean, it was like going to a 3D movie theater and just all around you was just stuff is coming down at you. It was a huge Mexican sort of thing, but it was like, dude, it was like everywhere you go, it's like, dude, it's like 3D environment. You got stuff coming at you. You don't know if it's, you don't know if it's real or not. And they would show, I know for the seats, depending on where you were sitting at, I was at the upper level, of course, because like I said, I can't, it was like $1,000 just to literally see on the up and floors. Like it was ranging from like $1,000 to $12,000. But it was like if somebody got hit extremely hard, you could feel like they would try to like give you a more realistic aspect of what it actually like feels like to get punched. So it was like a huge vibration all throughout the seats.
Wow.
It was man, like, yeah, I mean, people are talking about what's going on. They don't talk about what's in the seats. Like the seats was absolutely insane. Like it was like a huge earthquake environment whenever somebody would get taken down or get punched. So it was, you know what I'm saying? So, but there are some negatives. It was too crammed up. I couldn't even imagine being in the lower level and sitting down there. Everybody was just crammed up together. Like you barely had any breathing room at all to just go to the bathroom. Like it was, you think going to like a indoor sporting event or stuff like that is nasty, man. The Sphere was, everybody is so close together. That is just, man.
It was probably like one of their, because I think it was probably like that because it was like such a unique event, like for the UFC too, first UFC fight there.
It's also a theater. The Sphere's a theater, so it's where you see music and plays and things like that. So like one half of it is like all stage and stuff. So you couldn't have seats on that side.
Yeah,
right?
I saw that. Yeah.
It didn't help too. My vision's is pretty ass. So like it's. The fact that it's like a theater level, but it's like they had two kind of they had two Trons, but the Trons they were not the biggest Trons out in the world, and you can barely see the fighters at the upper level. You can if you didn't really have good vision, you were messed up.
Yeah,
it was never the experience though, right? You got to say you were there because they're never going back. It was a one-time thing.
No, it's too.
You don't think they'll go back? It's too much money, right?
Dana White. It was a one-time thing.
Hey, whatever. Hey, cool. Hey, then you got to experience a one-time thing, man. Pretty damn cool, man. I will tell you what isn't a one-time thing lately.
Better luck next time, loser.
That hasn't been a one-time thing lately. Beating the Miami Dolphins. By the way, Josh Allen, I didn't even know this. 7-0 on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah,
pretty cool for our overrated Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Jarek, your thoughts on that game? Let's get to you first because we didn't hear your thoughts on the Bills-Dolphins game.
Oh, it went exactly what I thought it was going to be. Schematically wise, we match up well with the Miami Dolphins. We all know that for the most part, Tua is a spot thrower. We know that for the most part, you can play. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can play Tua, but more specifically, what I like to do, I like to play, cover too high. For the most part, use my press corners and just be physical with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, throw them off their path. But Tua is a one read. He's a one read. He's not really more of a one read guy, but he's a spot thrower, right? He likes to throw the ball to a specific area that his receivers like to really get. And if you can take away that first read, it's hard for him. Or I shouldn't say it's hard, but he goes through his progressions a lot more slower than some of the other quarterbacks out there in the league. So if he sees something, I mean, he can manipulate defender. He'll try to manipulate you so he can throw it to the spot. He's incredible accuracy, incredible ball placement. Like in terms of short intermediate, he might be the best quarterback in the league in terms of that particular area. But man, if you can take away that read, if you can take away where he wants to go with the ball and not fall for his shoulder fakes, we all know what happens. And so I know a lot of people wanted to, they had the Miami Dolphins win the game because of the firepower that was going on. But if you know the rivalry, I shouldn't even say it's a rivalry. But if you look at the last 3 to 4 years that we've gone against Tua, we know his tendencies. We know exactly what he wanted to do. And their offensive line was the weak spot. No one ever talked about how bad their offensive line actually was. Teron Armstead is good, can't stay healthy. Their interior offensive line was definitely going to be the weak spot of their team. We all know that Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver can eat that up. And, Von Miller was underestimated. And so, we saw that our defensive line once again won that particular matchup on the offensive line. Once again, our secondary with a bunch of University of Buffalo players, a bunch of backup players everyone kept talking about, even without Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, we was able to go out there and still shut down the Miami Dolphins offense. It's just McDermott he just matches well with McDaniel. He will win that matchup every single time. And the biggest issue with McDaniel is that he hides Tua's weaknesses instead of trying to fix them. He hides it. It's an offense that it enhances Tua's strengths. That entire offense is made for Tua Tagovailoa. I don't know if any other quarterback would go in that offense and play exceptionally well under it. It is specifically tailor-made for Tua's strengths. All the personnel in the world, it's made for him. Matter of fact, if you actually go back and look at Alabama with Mike Locksley and Steve Sarkisian and Steve Sarkisian, look at their offenses, and now look at what Mike McDaniel compared to what he took. Look what Mike McDaniel took to Miami. It's the exact same offense that we ran in Alabama. So it's years of footage. I'm not particularly surprised of what I saw. It was just it went exactly what I thought it was going to go.
Real quick before you go on, Mike, because I know you want to say something. Shout out to everybody in the chat: Beth, Robert, Spin, Callie Blitz. What is up, Callie Blitz? Yes, next week we are on Monday Night Football, and there's 2 Monday night games next week, that is. Jason, what up, man? And TD hooked up Joe and TD Dogs. What up? All right, go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah. People are also forgetting that our defense was almost the exact same defense that we were running in week 17 last year. Mm-hmm. Because outside of Jordan Poyer, who played in that game, Micah Hyde wasn't there. None of our linebackers were there. So we were missing Teron and Jordan Poyer. And we saw what Jordan Poyer was. Jordan Poyer was a step slower than he normally is. And you saw that on the Cook run. So I don't understand why they make this big deal out of all these players that we lost that we haven't played much for us over the last 2 years. I think that was my biggest takeaway is when I saw that game. I'm like, this looks identical to what we did to them in week 17.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. Except with a couple different pieces on defense, different players
for Toronto.
Yeah, Cam,
DeMar, and for
Bale Inspector and Dorian Williams. Dorian was there. You're right. I will say that week 7. You're right. Was it week 17? But I thought Bernard was in week 17.
He got hurt in week 17.
Okay. So I guess you're right. Almost the same, but still some new pieces on offense and a new coordinator. Even though it's McDermott's defense still, but yeah, I'm with you. I am with you. We said the key to beating the Dolphins is to play physical with the receivers, throw them off their timing, and the rest will show, right? The proof will show that you could beat you can beat them at their game, right? Which is they're a fast finesse team. We're a physical team. And we proved that. And we are also swarming. I got to say, man, there were so many Bills defenders when Miami Dolphin got the ball. I mean, there were so many Bills defender around. There wasn't a lot of missed tackles early on. No, like I said, the only thing that got us early on was the outside edge. When they ran to the outside, they got us early on in those. And I thought we knuckled down as the game went on. But yeah, I want to. So listen, you're a Bama fan, Jarek, and I know you've been watching Tua for a while now. So your thoughts on Tua? And obviously he came out. I already heard that he's not retiring, which I kind of figured, right? We all kind of thought that would happen. But what's your thoughts on him? If you were his family, what would you tell him to do?
Oh, he needs to retire. He does not need to play football because we talk about the concussions of what he suffered in Miami. We don't talk about the concussions he suffered in high school. The dude suffered 3 concussions, including 2 of them being on national television where he got knocked out in those football games. This is not his first concussion. Now, thankfully, he never had these at Alabama. It's just mostly ankle injuries, and he ruptured his hip socket. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he didn't. Yeah. He broke his hip socket. But this is a guy that, and this is when he was like mobile Tua. Like this is pre-injury, right. Like way mobile, fully healthy, and he was getting concussions back then. I'm like knocked out concussions. This is so he's been. And who knows how many concussions he's honestly suffered throughout his
right.
career. I mean,
because they don't count. They don't count all the like ones where they call them like, we just get your bell rung.
Yeah,
which is a saying, right? Like, somebody was talking about boxing the other day. It made a great point. Like when a boxer gets like usually knocked down, that's kind of it's a very quick concussion. A lot of times they like rattle the head. They're okay. They snap out of it. Sometimes you get to snap right out of it. You're right back in the moment. Sometimes you don't get right back in the moment. And I think that's what's going on with Tua. But go ahead. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think the difference is though, like Tua, like the concussions he's suffering now, it's the most severe concussions you possibly can have, because now he's now fencing. It's to a point now where even because that wasn't a big hit, that wasn't
I didn't think so either.
Tremendous hit. No, it was almost kind of the same. It was ironically it was the same hit that Damar Hamlin took. When he suffered his when he died on it was the same.
I didn't think the Milano hit was a devastating hit. He got pushed and he fell and he got a concussion though. They say it wasn't a concussion. Clearly it was a concussion.
He got knocked out. He got back on his feet. Like it's to a point now where he's taking hits. And now all of a sudden, these sort of situations are happening where he's throwing his hands up, and that's just the brain trying to repair it's trying to reset the nerves. Right. That's what it's trying to do. It's just trying to make sure that everything's functioning right. He needs to retire.
So my thing, he's not. Well, he already said it. So my thing is like, bro, it's like. They've done he's done everything. Like I would look at it like, and I know he's not, but I would look at it like this if I'm him. Damn, I got a special helmet just for me. Didn't work. Didn't do anything. I've gone to jiu-jitsu class to learn how to roll and this, and I gained weight. I lost weight. I'm doing everything I can, and it's still not working, bro. It's not working because unfortunately you've had so many, and your body right now and your brain and your head, it's not made for football anymore. Football is a dangerous sport. It's a brutal sport. It's not for everyone. I'm not saying he wasn't a football player, but eventually your bodies break down. That's why a lot of these players retire early. Look at Andrew Luck, bro. Andrew Luck. I'll see you guys later. Steve Young, yeah. And bro, I looked at his history, like just dating in college. Holy crap. The amount of injuries Tua's had since just college, I'm not even talking about high school, is a ton of injuries. And then also the concussions and all that. Bro, like he needs to be playing with like bubble wrap, and it still won't help because the way your brain moves in the helmet, it's whiplash in a way. And there's no way of protecting that. Like everyone's saying, oh, he just needs to slide. Got to slide, got to protect yourself better. Bro, but it's not always the case. It's football. He's going to get blindsided. He's going to get hit here and there. He might take a late hit. Like it happens. It's football. So I just, I don't know. I feel for the guy, but at the same time, like he's not, I don't know. I feel like he's just not looking out for his own best interest, and his family probably just don't want to tell him no, I guess, right? Like, stop. Like, you're not going to, I get it, but man, tough, right, Mikey?
I just won't watch it. I won't watch the Dolphins, unless they're playing the Bills. It's the only time I'm going to watch them. It's not fun to watch when that happens to a guy, but he's an adult. He's going to make his own decisions, and I hope for the best for the guy. But at the end of the day, I just won't be watching Dolphins football.
Yeah, I feel like I said, man, they signed Huntley today. What's your thoughts on Huntley?
Snoop. He's out on the practice squad for a reason. He did really good with that Ravens run first offense. He struggles throwing the ball. So he went to a timing passing offense. Although Miami can run the ball, so maybe they become more of a running team now. You saw what Green Bay just did when Malik came in. They just ran the ball down, Indy's throat. Maybe that's what Miami's going to turn into. But
is he a backup, you think, to Skylar while they're figuring out the Tua thing, right? That's what I feel like.
He's got to learn the offense.
Got to learn the playbook and all that. And yeah, I'm with you. I don't see him starting a game unless Skylar gets hurt, right? And then so they had to get a backup, right? And he's a reasonable backup.
They got to draft a quarterback. They got to move on from them. Now, the dangerous part about this was that if Tua, if the doctors just told him to retire, right? You got no choice but to retire. $120 million is going to his bank account. If he decides to retire, he's only going to get $50-60 million. If the Dolphins, if they hold on to him this year, but then let him go next year, they save $18 million. So, but the Dolphins, they ultimately, if I'm them, you got to go in reset mode because
$100 million dead cap though.
Yeah,
that's ouch. And when you already have signed Waddle, you've signed Hill, you brought all these guys in for this championship run.
You can't let them do. Yeah, you can't let them. Yeah, that's and
they're in a rock and a hard place.
Yep.
Yeah, it's tough, man. But teams are. I've noticed teams lately that haven't done that in the past are doing that now, or eating money just to get rid of a player. I mean, look, we did it with Diggs. Who else did it recently? With Denver, did it with Russell Wilson.
$80 million, but look at Denver's roster.
No, I get it, but they had to make that choice. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from, but if you don't want the player on the squad, what are you going to do? I mean, what can you really do? He's not your fit.
I think he's going to be there. I just think they're going to roll the dice.
I do too. But I think, man, it's like how many more? Because it's going to happen. Right? It's going to happen again.
Chris Greer put them in an impossible position because the fact of the matter is, if they can just develop through the draft, they wouldn't be in this position right now.
Right.
Because Jalen Ramsey, both their linebackers, and David Long, and then Jordan Brooks and Calais Campbell and Bradley Chubb. Like you picked up Kendall Fuller. You picked up all these dudes from free agency and you signed them to big long-term contracts.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to go all in because you can't develop players.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there too. I think they made poor decisions. I mean, why wouldn't you not bring back Wilkinson and you sign Ramsey to like an all-time deal for a corner? But yet you don't want to bring back your own guy that you drafted that is young still, that is dynamic at his position. That doesn't make any sense.
Darren Winkle go too. They made some weird ones.
Howard's gonna walk. They're not signing. There's no way. With what money? You have no way in hell you're signing Javon Holland, even with the franchise tag. It's going to put them in a crappy situation. Holland's going to have to walk after this year.
Ooh, Holland is like probably the best guy on their defense.
Yep. You can afford to pay him. You don't got the money.
Yep. So Mike, you want to get around the league? Now that we got Jarek's thoughts on the
we'll go around the league. Yeah. I'm gonna start with the non-injuries and then I'll get to the injuries because I don't want it to be bad news.
Oh boy. All right.
Panthers are benching the first overall pick, Mr. Young.
That deserves a double. Man,
not only are they benching him, they're benching him for Andy Dalton.
Oh man, that I did not like that pick initially. Like I was not. I thought he was way too small, man, to be in the NFL. I just did not like it. I didn't even really care for his game. He was a good college quarterback, but I didn't think he would transition to the NFL. I just thought he was way too small, frame, built wide. And he's making some poor decisions with the ball too. Not only that, like so. I don't know. What's your thoughts on him, Jarek, Bryce Young?
Yeah,
I think it's just too early to jump the gun with
no.
That pick.
He's got to go to a different team. I think I think CJ Stroud would have suffered in the same position. They have the worst offensive line in the league. Bryce Young he barely has any command at all on that offense. He's not even setting any protections, and that's one of the reasons why he was drafted number 1 was because he was the most advanced quarterback coming out of college. Now, from a frame standpoint and from an arm throwing standpoint, might not be the best, but he was running Bill O'Brien's offense, and that offense was not good. I mean, he was running an NFL style, literally a Peyton Manning NFL style offense where he was the commander. He had 20 plays he can run. Like if he didn't like if he wanted to check out certain plays, he had 20 plays to choose from. Do you know how difficult it is for college quarterbacks to change the protections, to slide protect, max protect? Then you can just reroute. You can reroute certain receivers. I mean, it's literally it's the closest thing to an actual NFL Madden style of player. When you have this many plays you can select, not a lot of college quarterbacks have the opportunity to do that. So, people loved Bryce Young's IQ, and they thought that he was the most ready NFL quarterback compared to CJ Stroud, who a lot of his plays was preset, or if he had to change, he had 2 plays that he can call from. The problem, though, with Bryce Young, though, is that, he does have limitations to his game. He is small. You got to play spread, right? He's got to play from the gun for most of the times, and he doesn't have the strongest arm out there. Bryce Young needs to go. If Bryce Young was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers, I don't think he has an issue. I don't think he has a problem at all, because one of the biggest reasons why Brock Purdy was able to be successful was because of his football acumen, his IQ, his ability to process information. That's one thing that Bryce can do. He's one of the best quarterbacks, at least one of the young quarterbacks come out of college that could process, that could diagnose, recognize certain defenses, and he can kill you. So it's all about location, and this is why a lot of the quarterbacks that come out of college, they don't end up being successful because they end up going to one of the worst organizations constantly. I mean, think about this. I mean, like you got CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, who, let's be honest, he's struggling right now. Justin Herbert was able to be successful. I mean, how many young quarterbacks out there right now that get drafted in the top 5 and are able to be successful quarterbacks? Baker Mayfield had a really good rookie season, and then he had the 2020 was good. Besides that, it was terrible. Went to Carolina. Yeah. Brady, terrible. And now look what he's doing in Tampa Bay.
But not every. I mean, Josh Rosen was an NFL-ready quarterback, and that worked.
Look where he was at.
I know, but look how many chances he got. He's gotten chances, and he can't even make a back. He can't even stay on a team. Like I'm hearing what you're saying, but I think a lot of listen, man. Not every quarterback works out. We know this, obviously, but I just feel like like I said, man. I feel like transitioning to the NFL with his size and stuff. I get Murray's small too, but Murray's a little bit more
athletic. He's
a little bit more athletic than Bryce Young. So I don't know. I just had a feeling that he wasn't going to transition into it. But maybe you're right. Maybe if he fell to a team that was already built a certain way, he would have success early on, but
you got to give him. You have to give him. If you would have gave him Kubiak's son, who's with the Saints, or if you would have gave him a Kyle Shanahan, he wouldn't fit with Mike McDaniel. He would not fit in that offense with Miami. I'm telling you, the only quarterback that fits under that particular system, the way that they're doing it, is Tua himself. It's just it's all about scheme and development. There are some quarterbacks that are just ready for day one. Bryce was not ready for that offense, and then again, we have coordinators in 2 years.
Maybe he needs a fresh start. Maybe they trade him.
Weapons, gave him no offensive line. Like you gave the smallest quarterback in the league no offensive line or weapons.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. Very much
what the Jets have done. The Jets did that with Sam Darnold. They did it with Zach Wilson. They just didn't put weapons around their young quarterback. And that's the fastest way to fail them.
But it also takes time, no? I mean, this is his second season. Right? First season, if you're the number one pick, there's a reason why. Usually your team is terrible, right? You're in rebuild mode. I mean, most of the time. I'm just throwing that out there. It's not a lot of teams like, that already are built for success going in and getting a top 5 quarterback. It's very rare. So there is a time to this. So I don't know. I think listen, I'm all for it. If a GM is not, or a head coach is like, yo, he's not the guy, let's make the decision now. I'm fine with that. Arizona did that.
Arizona did that.
You know what I mean?
Frozen real quick.
Yeah, I am with that decision. Like, and not only that, I think it helps the quarterback. Okay, you know what, dude? We made a mistake. You're not. Maybe it's just us. You maybe get a fresh start. We're gonna move. We're gonna trade you to another team, and you get a whole new fresh start there. I think it's fair for both parties, right? I just don't. But hanging on to this guy as a back, I think they need to get rid of him. Like, if you're gonna make him a backup now, okay, writing's on the wall. All right, you're not happy with him. Let's make that decision now, and let's go ahead and move on and go ahead and finish out the season. Get a top 10 pick, because that's probably what's going to happen again. And maybe you get a quarterback. You trade up, get a quarterback, or even a top 5 pick, actually, or even the number 1 pick again.
Do they even have a top? Because they traded a lot.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Last year ended it. They get their
okay. There you go. It's very possible.
Another number 1 overall pick again.
You also have to remember that he's guaranteed money. You don't. NFL doesn't cut guys like that when they have guaranteed money. They're better off keeping him as a backup than letting him go.
They could do that too. It's still draft a quarterback. You can still draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just saying I don't foresee him being let go or moved on, because they did the same thing with Zach Wilson. And they left him as a backup.
Not this early, but I could see him moving on maybe year 3 or 4 or year 4 or something like that. Just to give him a chance somewhere else. Yeah. But I'm with you there. I understand where you're going.
Yeah. Okay, so then now let's get to the injuries portions of the around the league. Deebo Samuel, calf, gonna be out, is gonna miss some time. They don't know if he's gonna go on IR yet.
Oh, brutal.
Cooper Kupp was put on IR today.
This is the portion, by the way, Jarek, of the bad news segment.
Yep. Pacheco, IR today.
Oh, no.
Pacheco 6 to 8 weeks.
Fantasy team.
Jeremiah Johnson, the first-round pick for the Jets, tore his Achilles, IR.
Oh, Mikey with the bad news of the day.
It looks like the Saints Hill avoided serious ankle injury, but he's going to be banged up and out for a couple weeks.
Oh, man, Mikey. Come on, you're killing us over here.
Listen, I'm just going around the league, and those are our major topics. Man. Lots of injuries over this weekend.
Yeah, a ton, man. And by the way, a lot of, except for the Jets, they won barely. The Bills got some good stuff going on this weekend. Not only did we win Thursday, but the Patriots lost, which it was a close game. I predicted 2017 that they would lose. They lost 23-20, so I was close. But that was a dog fight there. But ultimately, I knew the slightly better offense would win in Seattle, and they did. But the Jets don't look that hot. What do you think about the Jets, Mikey and Jared?
Before I hit,
go ahead. Sorry, I didn't know more.
Kareem Hunt is visiting Kansas City this week.
Ooh, it's a good pickup if they do.
I
still like Kareem Hunt. I still think he can provide. Bro, he's not a bad. I would all day pick that guy up if we needed a running back. No questions.
All right, so the Jets. I think the Jets are still trying to figure themselves out.
Yep.
It's a lot of moving parts. They slapped together an offensive line. Didn't play at all in the preseason, so they're trying to figure it out on the go. Thought they looked better this week than they did last week, but they still didn't impress me.
Right.
For everyone saying that they're Super Bowl contenders. I haven't seen anything that tells me that they're Super Bowl contenders. They traded their best pass rusher to get Hassan Reddick, and he's nowhere to be found, and then they lost one of their pass rushers.
And I don't think he's going to be found. By the way, Jason N coming in saying the Dallas Cowboys should be put on IR.
Oh my God, the Cowboys.
That was disgusting. That's embarrassing at home. I mean, the Saints, I got to say, though, they are looking good after 2 weeks. I'm not going to – sometimes you got to tip your cap to the other team as well. They're looking pretty sharp early on. I don't know if this is an early on thing and they'll start, showing their true colors down the road. But early on, they're putting up some points, Mikey.
Speaking of the Cowboys, next week is a big week for them and Baltimore. Baltimore goes – I think they're going into Dallas.
So a pissed off Dallas team.
And Baltimore is 0-2. They need the win.
And a pissed off Ravens team. So you got two pissed off teams going against each other. That's going to be a tough game there.
Yeah. Hitting Robert's question. He says, "How does Pacheco hinder Kansas City?" Jarek, what's your take on this?
Oh, which one?
How is Pacheco injury going to hinder Kansas City?
Oh, it's gonna suck for them. I will say this though, I do like the running back from UCLA.
Steele.
I like Carson Steele. Tough, hard-nosed running back, can get you the heart. Can do a lot of the dirty work. Not gonna go down with the first initial hit. He's gonna provide some value. He's definitely gonna provide some value there. Now I think Pacheco is a lot quicker, and I think again I like smaller running backs. I like 5'7", 5'8" running backs that are like 215 pounds because they're a lot hard. I mean, especially if you're trying to score up with them. You're trying to score with a running back. They're always going to win the leverage. They're always going to win, right? In terms of leverage battle. And mostly, again, mostly smaller running backs. They have stronger lower bodies. So they hold a lot of value. And Pacheco, who's like a 5'8" running back, who's tough, hard nosed, not going to go down with first initial contact. Very underrated pass blocker. Very underrated in the receiving game. Like he does everything for them. And so. But Carson Steele is that Peyton Hillis sort of running back, right? That he is a very hard-nosed guy. And so, one thing that we like about Kansas City with their power run scheme is they're a very physical offensive line. And so, again, I don't think it's as big of a loss as what people are making it out to be. I do, again, I'm just a believer in Carson Steele. If they do bring back Kareem Hunt adds a different element to the run game compared to the Pacheco's and the Carson Steeles in the world. So I think that would be a good solid pickup if they do sign him.
They still have some Pirine as well. So they have him there. So it'll be interested to see how they split the carries between him and Carson Steele to start.
Roy's complaining about our ads on our life. Roy, we gotta pay the bills, man. Sometimes we gotta pay the bills, brother. Apologize, but that's on you two. Don't blame me. Go ahead, Mikey.
I don't even know where we were going with that. So, what was the next question that you had? Oh, you're going around the league, right?
Yeah, I didn't have a question. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have a question. You had the question. You were going around the league, not me.
I was done with my round of the league, and then you started.
Oh, okay. My bad. So moving on, Mr. Mikey and Jarek. Speaking of around the league and all the other games, what game stood out to you the most over the weekend? As far as you were shocked by, really surprised that was it the Dallas Saints? Raiders Baltimore.
Yeah.
Seeing the Raiders come back and beat Baltimore shocked me. The Baltimore's offensive line is struggling, and that defense isn't what it was last year.
All right, sorry, Jarek. Roy says I didn't give you the opportunity to talk about the sorry ass New Jersey Jets. Sorry about that.
Oh,
go ahead, Jarek. Yeah, go ahead, Jarek. Tell us about these sorry Jersey Jets. Hey.
You talk to Jets fans, man. I mean, they're extremely happy with his performance because they're happy with Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, I thought played solid. Didn't make a lot of mistakes, but you know what that kind of describes? That's a game manager. You know, Aaron Rodgers has yet to throw for 200 yards passing in a football game since 2022, and we got to go all the way back to Week 14, the last time he actually threw for 200 yards. I think what we've seen so far is that the Packers don't really have a legitimate number 2 receiver as of yet. Mike Williams isn't 100% healthy. Now, Mike Williams made a clutch, very clutch catch towards the end where Aaron Rodgers just kind of threw it up, 50-50 fade, and Mike Williams came down with it. But in terms of all the other receivers, the Malachi Corleys, I'm still not really impressed with Alan Lazard. You know, Breece Hall was that all-purpose guy that was able to go out there and make plays. They had another back that was able to go out there. Braylon Allen was able to go out there and make plays. But for the most part, that was a game that Tennessee should have won that game. Again, another game that Tennessee blew because of their quarterback, literally giving the game away.
What is with him lately? He didn't do that his rookie year. He didn't do that. It's the oddest thing, bro. His rookie year, he was better, bro. Mm-hmm. How do you digress? How do you make terrible rookie mistakes like that? I that is so weird. He's so careless with the ball. I don't get that. Jessica coming in, how the Cardinals destroyed the Rams. Yeah, and that goes to show you, by the way, the Cardinals aren't as bad as the teams everyone thought going in. I told everybody going into that week 1, they're a sneaky good team. They are. They're not a bad team. They got weapons. They certainly do. They got the best receiver coming out of college probably over the last 5-10 years. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is no joke, right? We kind of got lucky because he was wide open towards the end of the game, and Kyler Murray just missed him or didn't see him. So he didn't see him, right? Because he was wide open.
He was also being chased the other way.
No, I get it. I'm just saying he was wide open.
Yeah.
But no, they are a sneaky good team. Kyler Murray is a tough quarterback to play against, right? He's just tough. He is tough to get down. He is slippery. He has a great arm. That's a good team, man. That's not a bad team. And look what they did to the Rams, boy. They took them to the barn and whooped them.
Well, I mean, the injured Rams, I mean, they have nobody on offense now.
I get it.
They've lost both their tackles, both their receivers. Like, they are beat up.
Well, they gave the Lions a dogfight, okay? And the Lions are a good team. But even the Lions this weekend, I thought that was a surprise. Coming off a victory last week, a close one against the Rams. And then this week, another close game, and then they got an L. I thought Jared Goff was showing why I wasn't all up for him getting a contract. He is a mobile. He is a pocket quarterback at its finest, dude. That guy, you bring the heat on him and his offensive line can't hold up, which they have a really good offensive line, but if they can or they have injuries, man, he is screwed, bro. And they just can't get going on offense, man. What's up with the Lions, guys? What do you think's going on with the Lions? Like offensively, defensively, I think they're doing a good job. Hutchinson had 5 sacks, 5.5, 5, something like that, which is impressive, very impressive. But offensively, they're just like kind of like stuck in the mud. And now I know the receiver got hurt, but no identity from year 1 to year 2. So we're like, how do you lose that?
They stopped running
the ball. Same offensive coordinator.
They stopped running the ball.
Issues with last year was that Ben Johnson was criticized at times because they didn't run the ball enough. That San Francisco 49ers game, that championship game, criticism, didn't run the ball enough.
Mm-hmm. Like they were really good when they ran the ball, then through play action. That's where Goff excels. Run the ball, play action. Like he was great the year that he had Todd Gurley in LA. Even last year when they hit their stride down the stretch, when they went on that run, it's because they were running the ball. They had a 2-headed monster, and they just ran all over everybody. That hasn't been. They've been trying to throw the ball more than they've tried to run the ball so far this year.
By the way, did you guys hear Jamarcus Ingram got drug tested?
Yeah,
right after the game. It's like, come on, bro.
Yep. 2 other games that were surprising. Minnesota taking San Francisco to the woodshed.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Oh my gosh.
Minnesota's defensive line is very good. It's a good line, man. And again, their edge rushers, Van Ginkel, who's more of an outside linebacking role, but he's a hybrid player. So you can play him as an off bar, play him as an edge. Dallas Turner is living up to expectations, and you got the Jonathan Grenard. I mean, and then both their defensive tackles are holding up very well. Their defensive line is very damn good. But man, Minnesota, man. I mean, I got to give credit to Sam Darnold. He's playing really well.
Yeah, early on. Yeah.
Early on, Sam looked really good in Carolina too for the first 3 games, and then it fell apart.
Yeah, that's what I said early on. And then listen, sorry, go ahead, Mikey. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to change games. Go ahead.
All right, I was going to say that's why I keep telling everybody, like, it's a marathon. Like, slow down. Like, even me, like we'll get some comments. Like today, I got a comment like, we have elite corners. Listen. I think our corners are playing elite right now. I do like our corners, but I'm going to pump the brakes there. It's early on. Let's see how this road goes, right? Because they're still got some tough battles ahead of us. So I don't want to put that stamp on our elite corners just yet. Though what I see, they're playing at an elite level through 2 weeks. But let's slow down a little bit.
Week 2.
I know it's exciting, yes, but I'm just saying, let's revisit that week. What would you say, Mikey? Week 10, week
10,
8,
12, 9, week 10, 12.
Okay, week 10. Okay, so let's revisit that conversation then, and then I'll give you my truly.
When we normally slump.
Yeah,
every year we have this mid-year slump where we lose 3 or 4 games every year.
It's such an odd thing too. Like. Go ahead, Mikey.
I wanted to hit Scott's comment here. It says Miami fans within 72 hours went from our season's over to we're going back to the Super Bowl with Huntley signing today. Do Miami fans really think that Snoop Huntley is going to change their fortunes?
Yes,
he was on a practice squad.
Yes.
They got to go back to just saying tank for Cam Ward. They just go back.
Oh no, they want Shador.
They want Shador?
Yeah.
Shador's not going to fit that offense.
I get it, but
they're not going to be.
Most of them are going to tank for Shador.
I don't think they're. Listen, tanking doesn't work in the NFL. Like no. Right. I don't believe NFL like that term in the NFL. I just don't. It's funny people say that, but I don't believe in tanking. Like no team's going to tank in the NFL. However, there's going to be bad teams. I don't think Miami, even if Tua doesn't come back for weeks, let's say, whatever, he misses a month, whatever. Even if they finish with 9 wins, they're not going to be in the top 5 for a great top 10 quarterback. Like they're going to have to do some trading. They're going to have to get way up there if that's what they want. And if they do that, bro, if you think Tua is like his confidence was shot when Flores was here.
Go take a top 10 quarterback.
Holy shit. Like, you might as well retire then, bud, because that's it. I'm just throwing that out there for you. So, I don't know. The Dolphins are in a weird situation, tough situation. Yeah. Go ahead, Mikey.
Jessica comes in and says, our former elite corner got exposed again by Harrison. Trey's had a rough couple of weeks. Yeah. Like I love the guy. I do. I love the guy. I love the person, but man, he's at they're putting him in bad spots. He's not a man-to-man corner.
He's a zone corner.
Yeah, and they're man-to-man. Like they're using him as a man-to-man with no help over the top, and he's just getting beat. Can't keep up.
Yeah,
he got beat by Jameis, and then he got beat by Marvin.
Yeah, spin. No, I mean that was the rumor. And I get it. They probably wanted him to not play the – who knows? But you can't really – it's hard for these players not to give it their all. Unless it's so obvious they start benching all these starters and putting it – like, it's not NBA, bro, where, like, you can, like, rest your star. Like, it doesn't work that way. So, no.
So, the other game I saw that surprised me was that Seattle-New England game. People are sleeping on New England.
You were surprised on that?
How close it was?
No, I wasn't. I predicted 20.
New England's defense is
2017 was my. So I predicted. So we all had on the. See, you were watching, but I know you left a little early or whatever on the AFC Shakedown. So all of our predictions, at least 3 of them, So the Patriots guys had it 2017 New England. I had it 2017 Seattle. So we had the 3-point edge, right? We were just wrong in this, which, by the way, super close, 23-20, 2017. But I was not surprised. Mikey, the thing is, man, I understand week one, they beat a Bengals team that should have lost to, but Bengals always start off funky like that. So I was also taking that into consideration when they were going up against Seattle. And Seattle's nothing great, but, bro, I think Seattle has a little bit more firepower. That's why I picked them to score to get a little bit more points in the I just don't believe in the Patriots offense.
Neither do I. That's why I'm so surprised that the game was so close.
Oh, they're so close. You thought Seattle would trounce them?
I did. I thought.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like New England's defense better than I thought it was going to be.
No, they're not a bad defense, but I also don't think Geno Smith and Seattle offense is that good either. I think they were missing Walker in that game. If I'm not mistaken,
they were missing their 2 tackles and their running back.
Exactly. So the game might have been a 13-point swing in Seattle's favor if they had those players. But either way, no. I listen. New England's defense is going to remain one of those just tough nose defenses. It's their offense, bro. You can't Jacoby Brissett. You're just not gonna. You're not gonna put a lot.
If he doesn't turn the ball over, they have a chance to win.
Yeah, right. But here's the point. Here's my point, though. You stop Stevenson, right, and you put it in Brissett's hand to win the game, right, to be the guy to make the offense move. You're in trouble, bro. You're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, if you let him run for 185 yards, they're gonna have a chance to win because that's what they did. Stevenson ran for 81 and Gibson ran for 96. You know, it was just surprised me that the game was as close as it was. I thought they were going to pull it out.
It was close. They could have. It was super close. It was back and forth. I mean, all the way up to the end, man. So, but it is what it is, man. Benefits us. We'll take it.
Ben, maybe Chase should get the drug test. Man, Chase lost his shit yesterday, didn't he?
I missed that. What happened? No, you freaking out?
The guy tackled him, and he wanted to call a hip drop, and it wasn't. The guy just tackled him, and he flipped out on the ref, and he got a 50. So it would have been 3rd and 6, and it turned into like 3rd and 22 because he got a 15-yard penalty. Like Joe Burrow was trying to take him away, and he shoved Burrow. Like him and Burrow got into it. Like he lost his shit there for a minute.
Wow. And he wanted to, is he still working on his contract, right?
He doesn't have it. Yeah.
That's right. He said he's done. He don't want to talk about it no more. Right. Oh man. So maybe there's a lot of frustration that means built into him right now. And on top of that, you're not playing good football. So
and they're bracketing him. So he had 3 catches on 4 targets.
Yeah.
Gesicki led the team with 9 targets. He got 4. You know, that's not gonna fly.
Yep, T. Higgins not playing, and I don't. Yeah, T. Higgins he's not rushing back. You know, if I'm not back either. Like
why?
They fought him though.
They franchised him. They franchised T. Higgins, so like he gets paid whether he's on the field or not.
Yeah, and he's hurt now, right? He's out some games.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just looking around the league at some other scores. The Giants are terrible. Do you think Dable's on the hot seat, by the way? Dable and the GM?
He's gone after this year. Gone.
And the GM? What do you think about the GM?
Shane goes too?
Shane, yeah.
I think both of them are gone.
Do you think that's where Belichick ends up next year?
It'll be
because that'd be him going home.
Yeah, I would be
good. That's interesting.
Belichick is not done. He's not. He does.
I know. So that's why I thought maybe he would go there because he can run if they're getting rid of Shane and Dable. He can take over. He has full power there. Then.
Mm-hmm.
So does Dable? You think Dable finds a job quick, or you think Dable goes back to OC?
He'll be going back to becoming an offensive coordinator. He'll be gone in an instant as soon as
okay.
He's wants to be.
He's a really good coordinator. Like really, I feel bad for him and Shane because they got handcuffed by their owner into keeping Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
like they didn't get a real shot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that happens.
Yeah, and then that show kind of
the worst thing to happen to Brian Dable was going 10-6 in his first season or 10-7 his first season. That was the worst thing to happen. Because if they would have lost, they would have went 6 and
they would have let Daniel Jones go, and then they could have moved on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mikey, man, let's get to it, man, because we are almost an hour in. By the way, we got about almost 1,300 of you guys watching right now. So do me a favor, man, because we always forget to say it, and we're going to say it now. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're not following us on YouTube and you're watching on Twitter, X, we have a lot of content on YouTube. So go over to YouTube, Mafia Sports Report, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. This way you get notified when we're going live or we have videos out. All right, Mikey, we're going to start to this. We're going to get to the Dawg Awards, man. Let's get. Or do you want to start with the good, bad, and ugly? What you want to do?
Start with the good, bad, and ugly.
Ooh, good, bad, and ugly. This is Mikey. Mikey, this is what Mikey likes. All right, let's do good, bad, and ugly.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
We'll start with the good. We're gonna start on the defense side of the ball. Obviously, Jamarcus Ingram, 2 picks, including a pick 6. You got to love what our secondary did. Our Benford and Douglas held down their 2 speedsters to under 75 yards total receiving. Our defensive line had 10 tackles for loss. That's the way to, really dominate. We only had 2 sacks, but there was so much pressure coming from our defensive line. I think Vaughn had like 4 pressures by himself, including a sack. So I was super excited to see the defensive scheme and then how well they played. And I'll tip my cap to BS. And now Tommy will use his real name, Mr.
Bill Inspector,
who stepped in and played a fantastic game.
He did. So tip my cap to you, young sir.
Yep. Then we'll move to the offensive side of the ball. You got to love what James Cook did and that offensive line. They knew we were going to run, and we still ran.
Yeah.
Anytime you can catch 3 touchdowns, get the hat trick as a skill player is fantastic. And we gave him a goal line touch, and nobody was around him. You could have drove a Mack truck through that hole at the 1 yard line.
Bro, that all was. I mean, that's what I did a video today. I was like, bro, I think my fat ass could have ran
through that hole. Like, it was huge.
Like, bro. I mean, and I'm slow right now, right? So, and I still would have got it. There was so much time for it. Like, man, that was crazy. But go ahead, Mikey.
It was. And then we got to give our love to Shakir, who is just as solid as they come as our go-to receiver.
Yeah.
And then our leader, Josh Allen, who didn't have to do a whole lot. He made, 3 amazing plays, including a dime down to the 1 yard line to Ty Johnson. But it was a dominant team win across the board. And then I'll tip my cap to our head coach and our coordinators for putting together a game plan that was just executed to perfection. Yeah,
absolutely. On a short week, on a 4 days traveling, all that, dealing with injuries and that stuff too. Great job by that staff, the whole staff, everybody. Man, well prepared. And two, I want to say real quick before we move on too. Yeah. I thought the offensive line from week 1 to week 2, and I know you were talking about them, night and day. Like I didn't think they were terrible week 1, but the foolish penalties in week 1, just stupid little things like that. Kind of like made week 1 not the greatest for them, even though they weren't terrible. But week 2, which is 4 days later, different story, right? Osiris Torrance, man, great job. Spencer Brown, great job. There was a couple, penalties, but nothing crazy.
We have one penalty.
There we go. 1. I thought 2. 1. Nothing that cost this team. Nothing that cost the drive. 2. Nothing that cost points off the board. It left points off the board. So, definitely kudos to the offensive line too for playing mistake-free football.
And you talked about the entire, also the strength and conditioning team for getting these guys ready on a quick turnaround. I mean, we finished Sunday we had Monday practice, Tuesday practice, and then really just walkthroughs. And then Wednesday they boarded and headed to Miami. So
that's
on that quick turnaround to be that dominant, got to tip your cap.
Absolutely.
Jarek, from a good, do you think I've missed anything, or do you have any takes on the good for this week?
Oh, I thought Joe Brady's play calling was incredible.
That first touchdown.
Yeah,
oh my God, that was so sweet.
On a fourth down, by the way. So it was a fourth down. It wasn't like we can get, that was a great call for a fourth down. That was something we wouldn't do last year or the year before. Not Dorsey. Maybe Dable. Dable would have came up with some creativity.
I don't know if he gets that creative. Where he sends guys in different directions.
He's done a lot of motions,
he doesn't do that much counter.
I'm just saying, Dable would have been a little bit more creative than Ken Dorsey was last year on a four. I'm just saying. But I'm with you. Go ahead, Jarek.
Yeah, I was about that's one of the most beautiful mesh concepts you will literally ever see, because it was a pick play, but it wasn't a pick play. Like it was someone. If you ever play linebacker before, or if you ever watch what these linebackers do, it is when something like that happens, it's impossible. It's impossible to go through that and get to a player in time. Like it's impossible. Beautifully, right. Yeah. So I love the play calling, but also too, we didn't force Josh Allen to become the player that he wanted to be. Even in times where Miami made adjustments and was able to kind of defend against the run, we stuck to our principles. That's something that Dorsey would not do. Dorsey would take it in a heartbeat whenever something was kind of done. He'll try to make an adjustment to it, even though that, let's say, when we run the football, it'll be successfully working, but all of a sudden we'll just make an adjustment, change it anyway. And it's like, why are we going back to throwing the football instead of running it? And I would even say the exact same thing with Dable. What was Dable's biggest criticism? Not running the football.
Yeah.
He's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Like, it's just like, what are we doing here when Josh Allen's throwing back 35, 36 times for about 181 yards and a couple interceptions, and there's Singletary with 11 carries for 70, it was like 65 yards. Like, so I like how ever since Joe Brady has become the offensive coordinator, we have stuck with what has been working for us, which is run the football, not putting too much pressure on Josh Allen, doing a lot of play action, and just following the simplistic things, right? Focusing on our run scheme. Which is honestly, this is an offensive line that is tailor made for it, with Osiris Torrance, with Torrance and Andrews, McGovern. I thought one thing about McGovern this year, I think he's gotten a lot better as a run blocker. I like how he was able to seal out the edge a couple times that I was able to see from him. He does, and without any help, whenever we're trying to trap or we're trying to run a lot of pin and pull, doesn't really need that much help. So I'm happy with that sort of assessment. But no, man, I like the play calling. I think that's definitely something that's really good. We're following to our guns, man. We know who we are. We're not going to be a team that's going to be throwing for 400 yards per game. We're going to be a football team we're going to run the football. We're not going to put the game too much in Josh Allen's hands unless we have no other choice but to be that way. But it's Jim Harbaugh-ish. Like this is right? a Jim Harbaugh sort of offense, because I'm telling you, when he went to the Chargers, I think it was with Tommy, or I think it might be you, Mike, that I talked to. But when he went to the Chargers, I said Justin Herbert will not throw for 4,000 yards this year. They're going to run the football. They're going to have a two-headed monster, and they're going to use a lot of play action with Justin Herbert. He's going to throw the ball maybe 22, 23 times per game at least,
yeah,
almost. Yeah.
And I got to say too, real quick before you go on, Mikey, but. Going back on Joe Brady's play calling, at least, and also for this game, truly benefited Josh Allen, because you saw in that game he had like a bad snap. You could kind of see his left hand was still bothering him, some, and I think it's more fingers related. I think he broke. If I had to guess, by the way, I think it's something with his fingers. I think he broke a finger or broke fingers when he came down with his elbow. But either way, bro. That game plan was perfect, man. If they had to use him, like if Josh had to put the cape on, he would have done it. No problem. You would have saw him run more. You would have saw him pass more. But the offense was so well executed with the game plan. And the offensive line did their job that Josh never had to put himself in harm's way, really, the whole game. So you got to give like big time shout out to Joe Brady and the offensive line for just, making that offense work, that game plan work, and it did. It was a beautiful thing to see. And now Josh has 10 days to heal even more, right?
Yeah. You know what my favorite part about that first play was? Josh called the timeout because he saw the look that he didn't want,
which I love.
Knew the play wasn't going to work.
Yeah, it's great.
He wouldn't have done that last year.
Right. I'm with you.
You see him taking much, the control. He's way more in control this year of what the offense is doing. Like, I love that he called timeout. They went to the sideline. They came back out, ran it, got the look that he wanted, and scored the touchdown.
Right. Exactly. I'm with you there. I am totally with you. Go ahead.
Okay. The bad, Tyler Bass, man. Got to make those field goals. Tyler Bass has to make. That was a chip shot.
45 yards, right? That's it. That's like, is that his range now? He can't hit 45 and pat, right?
I mean,
his range is he goes up to 44
earlier.
47. Oh,
yeah,
man.
47 earlier.
Ooh, wow. That's crazy that he hit 47. Okay, so he hit 47, missed 45.
Right down the middle. 47.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
Way off.
The last one, way left. I've never seen it go left. I've seen it go right.
Yeah, that's that. Unless it got tipped, but which is possible because it was no, right? It was like such an ugly kick.
I zoomed in. I've watched that kick 100 times. It wasn't tip. He just
okay. Yeah, see, that's like, here's my problem with that. It wasn't the fact, like, everyone's like kind of like, oh, who cares? 31-10. Like, yeah, it kind of, bro. Listen, I'm a stickler with this, Mikey. And you know me by now. I am a stickler when it comes to leaving points off the board. I don't give a flying fuck how many points are up. If we're not getting points, I'm pissed when they're makeable points. If we're at the goal line and we can't get in for a touchdown, I'm not happy. I don't care if we only got 3. If there's an easy field goal to be made, make the fucking field goal. Like, dude, like, I am a stickler with that because at the end of the day, it matters. Bro, you could be up 21 points and think you got that shit in cruise control, and a play here and there, before you know it, they're only down 7 points, and before you know it, you're tied, and that 3 points fucking made a big difference. Now you're in overtime. Like, so I'm just saying, like, every point matters. I'm a stickler with that. I can't stand leaving points off the board. And he did that in that game. So I don't know, man. And there's going to come a game, Mikey. We're going to have to need these points. These points are going to really matter. Right?
No,
they're going to matter. I don't give a fuck. Like, we could be up on, tell me, like, put it this way, Mikey, and I'm just throwing this out there. Even if we're blowing out the Chiefs, let's say, third quarter, 30-10, I need more points. I need more fucking points, Bass. I need that field goal because I still don't trust it until it says 0 on the clock.
If it's a 50+ and you miss it, that's going to happen. I mean, even Justin
I understand that. I am with you with
but
that.
If it's
but 45 50, down the middle, stop it. Right.
Very little wind. Like, good.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. Come on. No.
I think Baltimore needs the field goal more. Yes, they did. And Justin Tucker's missed 2. That's cost them. Now,
bro,
he's been bad for 50.
What is up with him? Yeah,
he's one of his last 9 from 50.
Yeah,
it's age. I think. I'm not.
Yeah, Bass is making me throw the F-bombs. I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tommy gets mad at isn't that crazy? They've lost both of those games because he missed those 50-yarders.
Mm-hmm.
He makes both those games, they win.
That's what I'm talking about. Field goals, man. Like, come on. And he's a Hall of Fame kicker. But maybe, man, he's been around a little bit. Maybe he's starting to show that
age.
Yeah.
Father time gets everybody.
Father time gets everybody.
Not everyone's Tom Brady.
Right.
Or Adam Vinatieri.
Right.
But even Adam Vinatieri down the stretch, he wasn't booting 50-yarders.
Yeah. 42, 44. And the leg was gone.
Peyton didn't have him kicking 50-yarders. He found a way to go for it, on those ones. So, and then my ugly injuries, man. We lost Bernard for 4 to 6 weeks. It just seems like the same position every year. Linebacker, we just lose them.
Yeah. A story of the Buffalo Bills bad luck, man. I don't know. We're playing on that. I don't get it.
And we're spending a lot of money there. too. We spend a lot of
Is it
money
the-
that's sitting on the
Yeah,
IR.
stadium built on a damn like our stadium's built on a graveyard. I don't know if that's anything. Yeah, burial ground or whatever. Man, I don't know what is going on with the bad luck in Buffalo with injuries, but man, like it has to turn around at some point, man. It has to get in our favor eventually, Mikey. But I will say this: a lot of injuries going around. It's just not us. So. That's why I always say, man, I don't feel sorry for the Buffalo Bills because it's happening all around the league and early. So I guess better earlier than later, right? So, I guess.
Yeah, Jessica comes in and says we'll find out about Bernard on Saturday if they put him on IR or not. I think he's going to go on IR because they said they're going to miss at least 4 weeks. I imagine he'll go on IR for that. It was Teron Johnson who didn't go on IR, so that means he's going to be less than 4 weeks, which is good. And everybody misses a field goal, and I think it's more recency issues that I have with Bass. As long as he makes the important ones, I'm good. It's just I don't have trust in him.
Right. Listen, man, we're not saying that kickers need to be 100% all year. Like we get that there's going to be some missed kicks. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, even like at the end of the season, there's going to be something that's meant. I get that part. We're not saying he has to be 100% on the season, but at the same time, dating back from last season, even the season before, he's missed some big field goals, man, in big moments, and he's also made some blunders, like kicking it out of bounds, man. On kickoffs, giving the team the ball at the 40. He's done it multiple times throughout his career. He should not do that. But the missed field goals are, I'm sorry, it's unacceptable. Certain ones.
We're paying him.
Exactly. This isn't right. Great point, Mikey, especially for what we're paying him. So I'm not saying this guy's just an awful kicker, but he's definitely lost some confidence. You could see it. Come on, man. He has to do better. And the only way he can do better is by making his field goal and get his mojo back. That's it. He has to get this confidence back. And I'm hoping, like, bro, I'll be honest with you. It's going to take a big kick, like a game-winning field goal possibly for that to happen, in my opinion. For him to honestly get that, like, yeah, I'm that guy again. Like, I can make that fucking field goal. I think that's the only way he gets it back. I don't care if he's 3 for 3 in a game, Mikey. Is going to come a game
winner. He needs that game.
That's what I mean. It has to be a game winner, in my opinion. For him to get that back, that mojo. Like, hey, you could count on me again. Like I'm the guy.
Or coming back and forth, and he's makes 2 or 3 in a row to win it,
or something like that. Yeah. It just has to be something where we really need Tyler Bass to show up, and the dude shows up, no problem, right? Like, and he's back because you know what's going to happen if that happens. All the attention is going to be back on Tyler Bass. Like Tyler Bass is, all the articles, man, he's back. He's back. He's going to get all the praise in the world. It's going to feel good. Confidence come back. Trust me, it means a lot, especially for kickers. So maybe it's going to take that. That's all I can think about. That's all I know. Go ahead, Mike.
There was Connor put a question in here. It says, let's have this conversation. Are we worried about the defense, more specifically the linebackers? I'm not. I think Jarek, me and you talked about this leading up to the season. I felt so much more comfortable with our depth this year than I have in the previous years. With Dorian and Moreau and Balin and Fushio and Dreesen, I felt way more comfortable with our depth this year than I have in the years past. What's your take on that? You're on mute.
All right, there we go. No, I felt comfortable with the linebacking core. Now it sucks losing Bernard and Milano. You like to have both those guys back, but you gain a lot of experience. You gain a lot of experience, guys that knows this defense. And one of the things that I was impressed with Balin Spector about was just the communication. Constantly getting the communication all right. I think last week that was kind of more of an issue last week where players were just out of position. It was you can see the how frustrated Terrell Bernard was getting because it was like, dude, like, what are you doing? I got to make up for your zone. Like, why are you not covering the cloud? Why do I have to go to the cloud and now the hook's open? Now they're attacking there and I can't get there. We did not have any communication issues at all. Like, everyone played their assignment, everyone played their rightful spots. And that's one of the things I was happy about. So now I'm happy with this linebacking core just because of the experience. And this is just kind of my guess. Bobby Babich is personally getting involved with these linebackers. He's personally getting involved in coaching these linebackers and making sure that everyone's up to date just in case if an injury does go down and somebody has to step up to the plate. We do have some depth there. Now, again, I wish that like Olu was healthy. I wish that he was healthy, just so that we can have more speed. But just based off our personnel alone, like we got a lot of speed at the linebacking position who can cover ground. And it's just, I think my biggest question is, do we have communication? And so far, I mean, Spector's done a great job in terms of somebody that can communicate. But, I think my biggest question with Spector is, can he stay healthy? Because that's a guy that's got a crap injury.
That's Roy's biggest. Roy said that right before you said that. He's like, but how long will Spector be available?
I'm knocking on wood. This is the year that he stays healthy, because when he's been on the field, he's been really good. It's just keeping him on the field that's been hard. I mean, same thing happened at Clemson. He was super good when he was on the field, but how often was he on the field? That became an issue. At the beginning of the game, very impressed with Spector. I'm a little worried about we're going to play against a team that passes more than are the Dolphins. Our linebackers are more run defending linebackers than coverage, but I have a lot of faith in Babich and McDermott to be able to scheme a coverage up. Where we might run into some trouble with someone who has really good tight ends. Yeah.
Because I'm confident we can take. I'm confident we can take the outside. I'm confident we can blanket both of that. It's just
though we did a good job week 1 with I forget his name, the tight end from Arizona,
McBride,
who's a really good tight end.
We had Teron.
We had Teron and Bernard. Right, exactly. Yeah. I agree with you there. So that's so. What Mark Andrews is probably the next best tight end we're going against facing as far as teams go. I would say. Our upcoming games, I would say it was Baltimore.
It's Andrews and Likely.
Yeah.
And then 2 different types of tight ends.
Yeah, so it's definitely a test. There's going to be a test for these guys for sure. But like you said, Mikey, I think McDermott and Babich will scheme something up that will play in our favor, or at least help the defense out, figure that problem out.
Oh, I mean, they might have to keep their tight ends in if that offensive line can't stop our defensive line. Our defensive line is the key to our defense staying, aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
If we get the pressure like we did the first two weeks, they can't, the coverage guys only have to cover for 2.5, 3 seconds. That's the big one. We will have to do a better job against both Trevor Lawrence and Lamar in setting the edge and not letting the quarterback. Our ends have a tendency to get too high, which gives lanes to the quarterback. Because, Kyler ran on us. Tua ran on us. Yeah. Yeah. That's our big one is containing and being disciplined.
Yep. Stop over pursuing on everything.
But anyways, that's my good, bad, and ugly.
And there was no ugly, right? Or did you have an ugly?
Yeah.
I don't think there was an ugly. Injuries. Yeah, those are always ugly. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
but there wasn't much bad or ugly this week.
There really wasn't, man. I mean, I had a tough time today doing my stock up, stock down. That was a few days ago. I wasn't much. That was a really good game, both sides of the ball. It was about as complete as a game as you're going to get from the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion. So, Tyler Bass. Tyler Bass is in the building, guys. So
Connor,
you gotta kick better. Go ahead.
Connor comes in and says,
talking crap.
Evan Ingram. I'll be interested to see if he plays. He got hurt before the game. He pulled his hammy. So I'll be interested to see if he plays.
Okay. I agree. Okay, I'm sorry. I was reading somebody else. So let me just see if there's anything. See here. Tommy just got a thumbs down by Tyler Bass. Oh, man.
First Tim Settle, now Tyler Bass, Tommy.
Yeah, Tim Settle. See, if you don't know the story, Jarek, Tim Settle used to come in our into our live feeds, and he was really upset with me and Mikey when we brung up Tim Settle's name. But we haven't had a Tim Settle sighting this season because he's no longer on the team. So
now we got Tyler Bass sighting.
Right. Tyler Bass. Right. Oh man, it's great. Anyways, moving forward, man. So yeah. So Mikey, moving forward, we got a 10-day nice little mini bye week here. Going against the Jags, Monday Night Football in Buffalo, man. Listen, by the way, I thought this stretch here was man, 4 or 5 on the road. I wasn't too sure how it was going to play out. What do you think this is going to play out to be now? Now that we're 2-0, did you see this starting out the way, or you thought it would? Is this going as planned so far for you?
Yeah.
As far as how the Buffalo Bills, I mean, I'm talking about how they're playing, not just the wins. I'm talking about everything in a whole.
I expected us to throw more than we have.
Mm-hmm.
I was pleasantly surprised to see Vaughn as quick off the ball as he has been. But for the most part, this is kind of how I predicted us to come out. I thought Groot would be a monster. I thought, Oliver and Daquan would do their jobs, and AJ would get in there and, get some pass deflections and, beat AJ.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the injuries to the linebackers.
No.
That one wasn't on my bingo card.
Right.
But I had us going 3-0 to start the season.
Okay.
Before we got to Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember where I know I had us going winning both weeks, but I didn't think. I thought Keon Coleman would get a little bit more involved, especially in week.
The ball.
No, I know that. So I guess that's where I'm going. So I just figured that
he was open.
Yeah, I figured week 2 he would bounce. I thought he would get something in week 2, kind of counter off what he did week 1, maybe another 50-yard, 40-50, just kind of go off that. But no, I would say it's kind of going as planned. Honestly, I hate coach speak when they don't come through. And we've heard it so many times. And when coach speak, I mean head coach, a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. When they tell you one thing, and the game time comes, NFL season starts, and it's a totally different, game plan or different team, or we don't know our identity. I hate that excuse too. I'm just not a fan of that. It's like, dude, you had all off season to work with your offensive coordinator. You had all preseason, and you still don't know your identity. Or if you had the same offensive coordinator, you still don't know your identity. I don't believe in that. I just think sometimes you're playing bad, and you got to be honest with yourself. So, no, I think Joe Brady had a plan set up going into this offseason when he became OC, and I think everyone bought into it, and it's just fun to see it actually working, and it's great to see that Josh Allen's all in, because that's really not if we see what Josh Allen's done before this, that's not really what Josh Allen is fucking fun. Right.
He's not Josh's.
It's not his MO. Right. And he is throw it down the field a lot of times, take big chances, fun ball, running. I mean, Josh was, and I do love that side of him, but I also like winning, and I also like him staying healthy and whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl. And right now, at least through 2 weeks, and I'll say it's a long season, so let's see how this plays out. But through 2 weeks, I am buying into the Joe Brady offense. I'm all good for it. I don't need bombs every game by Josh. I don't need 400 yards thrown for this to be an exciting football team, exciting offense. So I think everything that I'm seeing so far, I'm cool with it. And that's it. I guess that's where my take through 2 weeks is. And I just hope it keeps up. I hope they keep doing the same thing where everyone gets to eat on offense. And by the way, Khalil Shakir is that guy for Josh Allen, at least for this year. He is his security blanket. He is the guy that Josh Allen trusts the most, him and Dalton Kincaid. When things are breaking down, when we need a big play, it's Khalil Shakir or Dalton Kincaid, and it's mainly Shakir right now, at least through 2 weeks, in my opinion. And I think that's going to remain that way for till the end of the season. And maybe Keon Coleman by year two or three will start becoming that man, the one. But right now it's Khalil Shakir. What about you, Jarek? Thoughts going through 2 weeks so far of the Buffalo Bills? Is it what you expected? Is it what you like?
Yeah, it's exactly what I expected. I expected us to run the football a lot more. I expected us to take the ball from Josh Allen's hands, for the most part. And, Khalil Shakir being the number one receiver on this team is no surprise to me. I mean, I've been hyping up Khalil Shakir for 2 years. And so I'm finally glad he was able to get his moment now. I would like to see both the tight ends get a little bit more involved. I mean, again, Dawson Knox has been a very good run blocker, and we all know how much of a security blanket he can be. Kincaid was a little bit more involved, had 3 catches, I think for around 39 yards, but it was more like run after catch. Like it was a lot more short intermediate, some quick outs, some in routes. Then he would just take it for like 3-4 yards right after contact, which was pretty impressive. Keon Coleman's young. Again, there was a couple times, that Dolphins game, there was Keon Coleman was wide open in the back of the end zone, missed him. And then Josh Allen at the end of the play, he pointed it at himself. But it's funny because, in the huddle, Keon Coleman's trying to tell Josh, you got to hit me there. I'm, wide open. And then Josh Allen's like, bro, no. And then so I think Ty Johnson had to come in right between them and split them both up because, I guess they were going at it for, a little bit of time. So Keon's he's getting frustrated. He's getting a little frustrated that he's not getting as, targeted because it's not like he's getting blanketed the entire game. There's a few times where he's open. And Josh is not, he's not hitting him because he's trying to either go for his first read, which is either Kincaid or Shakir, and he's not going through the second or the third sometimes. So that's going to take time, right? We all knew that when you're working with all these receivers, Scantling, again, I think Scanling's been a lot better than what people will give him credit for. They'll look at the targets, they'll look at the catches. That does look impressive. Every single time he goes beyond 15 yards. Watch what defensive backs do. They have to respect him. They will go back. They will literally backpedal their ass off whenever he's going in that direction because they're thinking to himself, okay, he's going on a fly. He's going on on an inside post route. On an inside post route. We don't know what the hell he's going to do because he's the deep threat of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but Khalil,
that makes sense.
I agree with you on the fact of I think he's getting a little frustrated because he's playing 90% of the snaps.
Yeah,
and he's not getting. I mean, he led the team in targets and catches week 1, but it's hard to be upset when you're winning 31-10 and Josh throws the ball 19 times in a game that you didn't get a ton of targets. It's really hard to be upset about that, but I get what he's young and he's got it's got to be one of those things.
And I also think too, and I've said it so many times. I think Josh. It takes Josh a little bit to get really that comfort for him, to throw it to your way. I just feel that way. Josh is one of those dudes. He has to be really to be here that if he's gonna throw it to you, man, especially on plays that are broken down, he has to really trust in you. So there's got Khalil Shakir has gotten that trust now, right? And it took Gabe Davis a little while to get that trust with Allen, that connection. Stephon Diggs and him got it right away. But that doesn't always happen, right? So, and Stephon Diggs was a pro already. He was a vet. It was a little easier for that connection, and he was a true one, right? Keon Coleman, I still think is going through his strides as a rookie. Exactly. So I think it's gonna take a little bit, and that's why I told people, man, I want to at the end of this season, I want to look back and be like, Keon Coleman's a bust, or he wasn't a good pick because I don't think his numbers are going to be anything crazy. But I would say look back at the Keon Coleman pick after year 2 or year 3. That's when you can really evaluate, in my opinion, what Keon Coleman, because I think his stats, and I think you'll see a better Keon Coleman in year 2, better Keon Coleman in year 3. As the game starts getting slowed down for him, as he continues to work on his craft, as he continues to get familiar with Josh Allen familiar with him, I just feel like his numbers, his stats will start increasing. That's how I feel. I mean, but I could be wrong.
Also you have to remember he's going to go to Shakir more or Kincaid more because he's comfortable. And the way Joe Brady, this last game, he was run. Okay, it's third down. Now we're going to throw the ball.
Exactly.
So it wasn't like we were throwing on first down. And he started looking. So this game plan was different than week 1. Week 1, he did get targeted.
He did.
This one was different.
And on some big plays, by the way. There was some a third down, big third down play. So I'm with you there. I understand this is week 2. None of the receivers really had to do a lot. I mean,
The offense
We'll see. We'll see when it comes down to a game where it's going to be pass reliant, like where Josh is going to have to pass 35, 40 times. There's going to be games like that, and Keon Coleman will get
this week might be one of them.
It may be.
The Jags. Their defense.
They're still a tough team, man. They're not the greatest, but they have our number, and we have to figure that out too. And I believe they are confident because of that, because they have beaten us in the past.
And they're going to be desperate. They're 0-2,
and they
need to get a win.
Great point. 0-2 Monday Night Football, big stage for them. The other Joshua Allen, has done really good against us. Our offensive line has to protect, by the way, because they're gonna try to get after us because they think they know. But I will say this though, we said this, by the way. I think we said it on Friday, Mikey, that defensive coordinators now who are going against the Buffalo Bills, that think they understand what we were from seasons past. We're not the same. It's just a totally different offensive team, like at least how they play now, how we're designed to play. So Jaguars might think they're coming in and playing the same Buffalo Bills offense they played, right, but it's not, right? Like we're a different team now. So I think too, I'll be honest with you, I think we caught Miami off guard with that as well, which was just running the ball, taking what the defense gives us. That's not what we normally do. And I think a lot of defenses are going to get in kind of in a trap versus that, because they're not familiar with Joe Brady's offense, and they're not really familiar with this style of Josh Allen, this new kind of different way of Josh Allen's offense. So I like it, man. Let's hope it keep going that forward with that offense.
Yeah.
Man. All right, so you know what, man? We've been on here hour 30 minutes, guys. I think that's a wrap, bro. Anything else that you want to touch base with, guys?
No, I think we'll be back Friday for our game preview.
Yeah, so let me give you the weekly schedule, guys, for everybody out there. By the way, 1,500 of you guys in here. Thank you so much. And I'll give a shout out to everybody in the chat real quick that I can, because without you, this is not happening. So Amy Wagner, Jason N. Spin, even though you give me shit all the time. Tyler Bass, Connor, Beth, of course. Who else? Callie Blitz, everybody. Rory, Scott. Was Scott Blakely in the house earlier?
Yeah, Scott was in here earlier.
Yeah, so everybody, even a Dolphin fan was in here earlier. Jessica Tennis. So thank you. If I missed your name, I apologize. Tyler Bass, our kicker.
Bills fan, 1970.
Yeah, was in here. So thank you so much. Once again, we couldn't do this without you. And just one more thing we got to say to the AFC East, the other AFC East teams.
To be the man, you've got to beat the man.
Oh, isn't that true? So, and you know what? The Chiefs are saying that to us. To us. Right.
And so they're not wrong. And they're not wrong.
They're not wrong, and we're not wrong. So until Friday. Oh, I forgot the rest. So Tuesday's wrestling at 7:30, Nuclear Heat Wave. Wednesday is Mafia Talk with Jay and Big Cuz at 8 o'clock. And Friday Night Lights, and then of course Saturday is Fantasy Football, Fantasy Kingdom with Mikey and Howie, and then 4 o'clock we have AFC East Shakedown, and then of course our post game on Monday. What up, Mike?
Jarek, anything coming up for you?
Yeah, Jarek, got some Alabama stuff going on. What's going on over there?
For the most part, no, doing some collaborations around the table Sports TV. I normally on their shows talking college football, and then college football with Jonathan and Coach Sean. Sometimes on their channels. Make sure to please check them out, especially if you want to follow some draft prospects, man. Because like I said, I can tell you right now who we're drafting. We're gonna, if I'm telling you this right now, Danny Stutzman.
Give me some info.
Danny Stutzman at linebacker, Oklahoma.
You think we're taking linebacker around one?
Yes, I do. Or
All right, well,
not round one. I think we trade back again. I think we trade.
Oh,
back.
I trade out of round one. Okay.
I have gotten the last two right, Jarek. So I'll let you know who we're drafting.
Well, the last two first round drafts.
Come on, give it to me.
Nobody thought we were taking Kincaid.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get that right. You're right. I got Osiris.
I would have thought we were taking Osiris in round one.
I did, which he should have been. In all honesty, though, we traded up to get Kincaid. I'm just saying, if we didn't get Kincaid, Osiris is a first round talent. Like, we were lucky to get Osiris Torrance where we got him. Just throwing that out there. Like, when we look back at that draft or when other teams look back, trust me, I could promise you, we're not
a great Humphrey thing like we.
They are saying, yeah, I promise you, there's teams going, why didn't we take Osiris Torrance? He was there. Why didn't we take him? Oh man. But anyways, man, we're out of here, man. Bills Mafia, we love you as always, man. Go Bills. Hey, Jarek, thank you again for joining us, man. Peace.